I had notes here, actually. Oh, here they are. Right here.
Notes.
Notes. All right, you guys again. Jesus, didn't I just do the Lynn Solly Murray podcast like 2 minutes ago yesterday? How'd that go, by the way?
Oh, it was a rousing success. Loads of comments, and it's always good to have you.
Okay.
It feels good. It's like putting on a comfy pair of jeans.
Does it feel good today?
It feels
the very
very good.
next day where I'm like, oh, you assholes
Him again. Well,
yeah. By the way,
we used to do this every day, so
this is going to freak me out.
Not like
do you
I'm
see
like
that too, or is that my eye?
No, it's
The flicker?
thing.
All right.
So yeah, the light is
Either change it, damn it, or I'm gonna leave because I will not be on the set with a flickering light bulb.
Is it that one that's flickering?
It's the upper right. It's fine.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
It's not fine. It's pissing me off because
I'm just not going to look at it.
No, it should be better now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
that are all working perfectly.
Well, they're not. Yeah, they are working more and less perfectly. But to get that addressed and fixed is a several $100 thing. I wouldn't know how to do it. You know, the upfitter in Minnesota,
the upfitter.
Yeah, Waldock Incorporated.
Urban Outfitters.
Those assholes up there.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, I'm burning a bridge because I'm not happy with some things. But what's my level of expectation? The other thing that's frustrating is you notice how the LED lights are lit right now in the upper rim of the vehicle?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a movie theater before the show.
Yes,
absolutely.
It adds a nice glow.
I like it.
Guess what? They're going to go off shortly.
Why?
Because they're tied to the door.
So it's a timer.
Being opened and closed.
You can't.
And I can't manually.
Just got to open the door every 5 minutes.
I can do that. It does remind me very much of there they go. And now
it's time to enjoy the show.
Well, now you can really see this.
You really see the flicker.
Damn you!
We've all been in rooms like this where you're going, I think, Dad,
you can't not look at it either.
That bulb's going to go out shortly. And no, I don't think it is. And the bulb may be perfect, but it's just sort of the impulse or the pulsing of the power right to that little receptacle.
I mean, when it's not sitting perfectly sometimes.
I was going to say, this might be a dumb question, Zabe. Can we just go and can we loosen it and just unplug it?
This is now going to be torture, basically.
Well, you can't get into that without prying it open, right? Can you get into these things?
Suddenly you guys are like,
well, no, yeah. Can you loosen it?
I guess you have to pry it open, or just get a piece of tape.
It's weird, by the way. When you talk, it flickers. It's like the power. I'm gonna stop. Go ahead.
There's no way because I'm not tied into the power.
No, I'm just blinking. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not tied into the power. This Roadcaster is running off of a battery pack.
Got it. It's fine now, by the way, for some strange reason.
Yeah, but it'll start up again.
It's funny because I was at my mom's and her smoke alarm was doing the beep, the chirp. And I mean, her hearing's okay, but I'm like, Mom, do you hear the smoke alarm? She's like, I hear something. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, how long has it been going? She's like, I don't know, because it comes and goes. So I don't have a 9-volt with me. I was like, I got to go to. I'm like, I'll get it next time. So like, because obviously she didn't even hear it to annoy her as much. That drives me insane. The chirp of the smoke alarm.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
So here's a good topic: people putting up with shit that would drive you crazy.
That's a good one.
And how angry you get when you say to that person, how do you let that persist for one more second?
Right.
And that person goes, I've gotten used to it.
No big deal.
Right?
I like the flicker.
No big deal. That drives me nuts. In the studio in Milwaukee with my colleagues at 97.3 The Game, they have boom mics with the RE20 microphone, the industry standard, right? Yes. The Sennheiser, the big gun. And it's hanging literally by a rubber thread, that the plastic rubber gasket that holds the mic is down to one thing.
Oh, wow.
And I'm screaming at them when I go visit. I'm like, get this fixed. And they're like, we've asked. There's no budget. I said, well, ask harder.
No budget.
Yeah. Ask every day. Keep asking. Hold a bake sale at GoFundMe.
Well,
or better yet, pay the 40 or break it.
Just break it. They'll fix it.
Well, that's what they say. They go, well, if it breaks, then they'll be forced to get a new one. And
when
I
it's
say,
lying on the table.
And I say, oh, really? You really think that, huh? Are you sure they would be forced to get one? Mm-hmm. They might just lay it on the ground and say, here, hold it in your fucking hand.
We've got 3 other ones. They don't need this. There's never 4 in here anyway.
The engineer will come out of the shop with, look what I found, and it's a little tiny tripod desk mount. We took it off of that, now it's just going to sit here.
Those are notoriously flawed. Those, I don't know what they're called. Those 4 things that hold it in.
Yes,
and are rubbery.
The rubber mounting gasket.
Those always go. I mean, I've never seen those last forever.
Do you know why they exist like that? to suspend the microphone
out of the way,
and to prevent any audio noise when it jangles or jiggles.
Right.
It's supposed
shock
to let
mount,
it
right?
shock
so
mount.
to absorb
Yeah,
the
it's
shock.
to let it float there.
In the downstairs studio.
Why don't we go do it in that?
Well, I've got good mics. I got a
snuggly
Sennheiser,
though.
one of those 416.
Your little tiny room. It's too
in the
small.
little tiny room. It's got UPS is here. How cool is that?
He's pissed because he couldn't come in the driveway.
Oh, no.
Extra walking for him.
it's fine.
He's
So
now
be it.
behind on his route.
Yeah, so be it. It's got little metal screws, Sally, so you just loosen them. No rubber whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But anyway,
fine.
I'm glad you remind me of that because I'm going to order today from Broadcast Supply Warehouse.
BSW, good people.
New rubber mounting gaskets and have them shipped to 97.3 The Game.
Right, with
And
a
I'm gonna-
flower.
Yeah.
F off.
Yeah, this is out of my fucking pocket
Right.
here.
Thanks.
Put them on and have some pride in the studio. I might also buy some windscreens, which are completely disgusting.
Oh,
the
those.
foam mic
I mean,
screens.
I bring my own.
Yeah.
If I could, I'd bring my own headset and mic here, but it'd probably weird you out, and I don't know if I could plug it in because
I would allow it.
Can I?
I would.
What do you have there? Can I plug in?
XLR input with a quarter jack headphone
Quarter
input.
jack?
It's
Okay.
like the same as any other broadcast
Right.
setup.
I mean, I don't have a
What do you
one
have?
piece. I don't have a one piece like this. Though.
Okay.
I have a regular headset and a regular mic.
He's
so I
got
can't-
MASH era stuff. It's
But
a
What if I
headphone
what
and
if
a
I
hold
set up what if I set up a floor mic with a boom arm, and I let you bring your own mic, or just what if you brought your own little foam windscreen? Would that be enough?
That's fine. I mean, I'm willing to do this, obviously, because I love you and I'll be here. But I have to, wash my ears and head when I get out of here because I know others have worn this
Wash your ears and head. And how do you wash your ears
at home
and head?
when I go home tonight.
Sally,
Do you
speaking
have
of
a
which,
special brush, an ear brush?
It's called soap and water.
yeah,
Well, I'm a germaphobe. At work we have those windscreens. They gave everyone one during COVID. It was very generous, a $4 windscreen. But
I bought an $8 mic cleaner, a little squeeze
mic
thing.
cleaner, huh?
Yeah, and it's it's like a windscreen cleaner, something like that. I've used it. It smells like apple. It's kind of cool. I'm playing.
Because that kills germs.
Yeah, of course it does. I bought it.
contains nothing that kills germs.
Right,
but smells
may
like
make
apple.
people
Smells
happy.
good, though, right?
Hey, did you clean this? Sure smells like
It's
it
like
did.
these designer masks. Oh, look at this cute mask. Does it prevent COVID particles from going through it?
And it
No,
smells
but
terrible.
it looks good.
Right? Are you washing it
course
regularly? I'm going to go play floor hockey later tonight, and a guy on our board on Facebook put out a little ad. He said, "Does anybody have a helmet with a visor or a cage that I could borrow for like the next week?"
I lost an eye.
And well, no, and people volunteered. Hey, I may have a couple, and it's fine if that makes you comfortable. But
It's not like your underwear. I mean, it's
Sally, I wear a helmet because I don't want to get poked in the eye by an errant whatever.
You don't want to die.
And it's soaked when I'm done.
Oh, right.
Soaked. How do you clean this stuff out? How do you clean out helmets and whatever?
Lysol.
That's-
yeah. You spray them.
Lots of Lysol, air it out. And at some point you have to accept you're not going to get rid of all the germs.
Right.
Not going to get rid of all the bacteria.
99.9%.
That's what they say.
That's what the little bottle says too. Purell.
But that's for the stuff that comes in contact with the actual
99.9%.
germs.
It's got
What
Purell
about
in
the
his pocket.
What about the
Always.
crevices that Purell can't reach?
Sure, it
The
reaches all
nooks
of them.
and
Then
crannies.
it eliminates 0.0%
Where it doesn't touch.
because
That's
it
right.
didn't touch.
Of
That's the
course.
thing. So anyway, how did you survive this pandemic, Sally, being such a huge germaphobe?
Well, luckily I wasn't around people, and that's the most annoying part. I don't like people or being around them. But being at home, it's just me and my girl and the dogs, and at work, it's literally 6 people there still, and I see.
But what about going out and about and living your life, which
I still do that.
forged through? That's good.
I mean, do a lot of that to begin with. He
I did a
goes to
fair
his
amount.
McDonald's,
I'm
he goes
not
to
a
Lido's,
hermit.
he goes to work.
I mean, I don't mind going places. We went to a restaurant last week. There's people there. I don't mind.
Your relentlessly logical brain is enough to overwhelm your germaphobe brain.
Right. I'm not to the point where it controls my life. So
Right.
I hope it don't. I
No.
consciously try not
Would
to
you get on the
that
New
way.
York subway?
I have many years ago. I've been on the
Not for
Washington
germs,
Metro.
I'd be afraid of getting attacked.
Right, all those
Or a
other
giant
things.
rat. If the
Fair.
Ninja Turtles were not around to save me, I'd be worried about being on the New York subway.
Pizza rat.
It's not the people at the subway. It's like those arm things or the hand thing. Those I wouldn't touch.
Yeah, you just
You would surf You would
Yeah.
like sit there.
Just balance.
Or Sally, hug a stranger.
But shift your weight to not fall, like in a airport shuttle to your
Right.
car place.
Well, you know that anything can kill you.
of course.
A woman nearly died from a near fatal wedgie. Near fatal wedgie. Dateline the UK. Woman wearing super tight shorts ignores chafing feeling because she was having a good time. Said, I'll worry about it when I get home. By the time she got home, she had such a sore and an open wound in her vaginal area.
In her situation, yeah.
Yeah, in her situation, that it led to a septic infection.
Sepsis.
okay.
That'll get you.
Sepsis.
Yeah.
And she nearly died from a wedgie.
Well, I wear loose clothes, so I'll never have to worry about that.
Sally just goes al fresco.
Well, I got boxers and my loose jeans, so I don't fear the wedgie as much as this woman. I don't know how
don't fear
anyone
the
wears
wedgie.
tight
but in
clothes.
97-degree heat, if you have the jeans, there
True.
you know
Well, you
there
get-
is rubbing and sweating
Well,
and
there's a
chafing,
lot of,
and that may manifest
a
itself
lot
in
of
some sort of open
swampiness
sore.
down there, perhaps.
Yes, exactly.
I feel disgusting.
The
but
humiture is a thing.
I don't know how the closest I've been to death. I don't know what it's been. Car accidents probably. I guess is the closest.
I nearly died a couple times. I think we've been through this on the podcast, haven't we?
Maybe. I don't know.
Nearly dying. Yeah, when we talked about Galdi being in the hospital a couple weeks back.
No, but me personally, did you share how many near-death experiences have you had?
That
I've had 3.
That I know of, none.
I've
thank
had
God.
3. Woke up in the hospital on my 21st birthday.
Oh,
'cause
that's
my
right.
asshole friends left me behind. I smashed up my front
Yes,
teeth.
this was the
That's
grill in
right.
Way
Santa
too much
Barbara.
alcohol.
Right.
Didn't you the drowning? Didn't you or did you
I
save someone from
saved
drowning?
a kid from drowning off the Outer Banks, the
Right,
shores of
in
the Outer
college,
Banks,
right?
Shortly out of college with Todd Davenport, Andy Lee, Butch Beam, the usual cast of DC area.
Davenport, help me. Screw you, Zave. I got to swim for my safety.
Well, we got to the beach and it was red flag beach. Big waves, big storms, overcast, whatever.
Luckily,
don't
you were
go swimming.
experienced
Did they
Santa
flag,
Barbara in, so
Did they
you knew
flag
your
the beach that day too? Because they'll put the
yeah.
hey, don't.
Yeah,
don't.
but there was a
Actually,
woman.
Now you're reminding me, so I
was
do have one.
Yeah, there was a woman that was screaming, "My boy's out there! My boy's out there! Help! Help! Help!" So all of us go charging in the surf like
they
we're
went with
fucking
you, huh?
Baywatch, right? Mm-hmm. And we start swimming. And I guess I was just so gung ho ahead of the pack. By the time I realized, I turned back. I was like, "Where's Andy? Where's Todd?
Oh no.
Where's Ho? Where's everyone?" They were still behind me. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm out here. And I see the kid, and he's kind of gurgling and, and I finally get to him. He's in bad shape. He's pretty much incoherent. I'm grabbing him under his underarm, kind of propping him up. And I'm like, all right, come on, come on. And I just start doggy paddling and pushing him back, just kind of grabbing under his arm to keep him afloat. Finally get him to the wave line, and with one last push, I get him to ride a wave. By that time, the beach patrol had arrived, so Hasselhoff and company were there to
the
greet
Hoff,
him.
right.
We got it, sir. The pros are here.
At that point, though, I'm fucking exhausted.
I bet.
Of course you are.
You're like, help me too. Don't.
Well,
Yeah. Now there's 2 of us.
and I said the hardest part was there was a big rip current, so I had to push real hard to get through the rip current to get on the other side of the waves to get pushed in.
And your
I
Speedo was wedging yourself.
Yeah, and then I nearly died of sepsis. No, but then I finally got pushed in, and I was completely wiped out at that point. And then the lifeguards did help me, but it's not like they were cradle walking me back to the beach.
So you
They
saved
got you
this
and
kid,
threw
though.
you on.
saved
perhaps.
a life.
Yeah,
Stone
see?
cold saved a life.
That's pretty good. I don't know if I've saved a life. I mean, I did pull a kid from a car backing up. I don't know if he would have died or the car would have hit him, but it was close.
Do tell.
As a teenager, across the street, there's like the kid was walking, playing in the yard with his brother, and like his parent was backing out, and obviously didn't know that the kids were out there playing, and started backing out, and I ran over there like they were, and like pulled them away, and they saw me in the thing. Like I don't know if it would have hit them or not, but it was pretty close from what I
Okay.
recall. I was
Scott,
nice
what
of
about
you as a
yours?
teenager.
Similar, not as graphic, not as dangerous, but
It wasn't that
save-
dangerous. I mean, I don't know if it would have killed him or not. Maybe.
You did the right thing. That
Or they
was
would have saw
awesome.
it because it's not. There weren't rear view cameras yet back then. This was the 80s.
Off the coast of the Outer Banks, we were out on a sandbar, things got a little choppy as we headed back in. A woman, Zabe, probably in her early 60s, out alone, and I was last in the human chain. And she was being carried by the rip, and she was not doing well. And so I helped her back and did the under-the-shoulder thing. I was whistling the Tuckahoe Swim Club fight song, Coach Donnie, whatever he taught me in the 80s. And, yeah, I know. I mean, it's a weird feeling because you're like, I got to save up my own energy. Plus, now I'm responsible for you, and you're like,
water,
okay, I got
dangerous.
I got to compartmentalize this type of thing, and then more water again. We were down in Mexico a couple of years back. We went on a little trip, snorkeling trip. I was last off the boat because I always am, and I forgot my fins. I forgot flippers. The guys on the boat are like, "Hey, buddy, you're going to need those." And I said, "No, I don't. I had my life vest, so I was not going to sink, but." I ignored the fins, and I got carried. And two of my friends had to swim against the current to get me. Had I had the flippers on, it would have made my life and their lives a lot easier.
A lot of beach
you start
stories.
Panicking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go into the water more than I can stand because, I mean,
There's things in the water.
I mean, I can
Right,
swim.
they live there. We don't.
I can swim okay, I guess. I haven't swum a lap and done a swam a lap in years. I swam as a kid, I guess, in a pool, but not in a long time. So I don't want to risk dying. And
I was told by the beach patrol after I had saved this kid that I was really stupid. What typically
you could have died, sir.
Well, what typically drowning people do is they just climb onto you like you're a fucking boat or a raft, and they kill you. They drown you.
Neck. You're holding my neck.
They start fighting you. And they start grabbing your neck.
So
next thing you know, you're the one who's drowning with them.
Right.
It's a twofer.
So you got Samaritan shamed.
I don't think I got Samaritan shamed. I think they just said, "Hey, that was really dangerous." Maybe they didn't like it that I was the hero. They weren't.
Right. We can all agree that you did a dangerous thing.
They don't
but
save enough people.
You did an incredible thing. I mean,
I did a thing that was just a thing. I didn't even think it was incredible till I kind of realized the totality of it. But anyway, I nearly died once riding my bicycle across Sabado Tardy Boulevard in Isla Vista, California, when there was traffic coming the other way. I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
Student at UC Santa Barbara, and I was going between two cars that were stopped in traffic going that way. And I just, on my bike, and then I look at the last second, bam, put on the brakes. Car went right by me. Would have killed me? Maybe not.
Maybe.
Would have been fucked up.
Right.
Yeah.
Would
That's
have severely
for sure.
injured you.
So anyway, last night the Yankees lose. The Yankees lose.
Yes.
And John Sterling botches a call of Giancarlo Stanton's home run.
He wasn't the only one.
Well, Vasgersian missed it too.
Right.
But at least he corrected it more quickly.
There's a lot of that going on the TV broadcast. Saw a lot of people complaining.
Okay, let's
And-
talk about it then.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, A-Rod was on the broadcast, and he brings absolutely nothing. And I saw a couple of retweets. Was I paying 100% attention? No, I got up and I did something else. Then I came back to the TV. But I checked Twitter, and he was just getting hammered. He talked about playing a bully offensively, and you got to punch him right in the nose, and you got to be aggressive. And I'm thinking that's more suited for, I don't know, football or MMA or boxing or something like that. And people are killing him for it. And I retweeted Marchand or one of the other New York media types, baseball types, and I said, I was looking for Peyton and Eli on this evening, but they were off again because they're off for a good couple weeks now. They would have been very pleasant because this was an ESPN product.
It was Tuesday too.
It would have been nice. Marcus Stroman, Mets pitcher, is out there on Twitter tweeting about batters from last night. He's like, Bogarts is raking, and here's how you deal, and here's how you not deal. That's informative. That's what we want. We don't want A-Rod.
Pitch to Stanton. There goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone out of the ballpark. A Stantonian home run. Now, what did I do wrong? What did I see wrong? He's at first base.
Well,
so apparently, and
that green monster will get you.
Yeah, this is not a
tall.
defense. I think he's still in Yankee Stadium watching a game on monitors.
Why didn't they make that clear? I tried to search that today, and I didn't see any mentions.
I saw a couple of people mentioning it.
The pitch to Stanton. There goes.
Well, old Giancarlo should have run. I mean, you in Little League.
The pitch to Stanton.
Stand.
There it goes.
Right,
Deep
he
left.
could do
It
the
is
pose.
high. It is far. It is gone. Out
You know, in fairness,
The
it
camera
gets,
angle made it look like it landed in the monster seats.
and it gets dark up there. It's
Yes.
not like the
of
best
the
light.
ballpark. A Stantonian home run.
Almost though, like automation in radio launching a spot break. Once it's launched, you can't get out of it.
Correct.
It's got to run its course. When you launch the John Sterling home run call sequence, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
He's got to go through it all.
Now, what did I do wrong? What did I see wrong?
The whole place.
He's at first base.
Correct.
I'm going to pull that clip for future
What did I
use.
do?
What did I do wrong? What did I see wrong?
Well, he
there?
nearly died, 2 months ago in the horrible flooding in New York? He was stranded.
John Sterling?
Yes. He was stranded in his car driving home after a game.
Wow.
And Ricky Ricardo, who's the Spanish announcer
Correct.
for the Yankees.
That's his real name.
That's his real name.
In Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey,
Not-
which is
not Desi Arnaz's
very
character.
prone to flooding. And when the big
Wow,
flooding
you're right,
happened,
Solly. I
yes,
did not know that.
happened
John
right there.
Sterling, a rescuer, radio announcer John Sterling, rescued from flooded car
Yeah.
by fellow broadcaster.
He called Susan, who said who knew that Ricky Ricardo also lives there or near there, and called him. He said, "Oh, I'll find him. I take the same route home or something." And drove by. He knew his car, I guess, and saw him and pulled him out. I don't know if he would have drowned and died, but it was close. Ironic that we're talking about near death. And
There you go.
Old John had the same thing. Is he retiring? He's like 85, isn't he?
He's up there for sure.
Because Mike Shannon is retiring, the Cardinals guy.
Get up.
Get up, baby! It's out of here.
Get up, get outta
Adam
here.
Wainwright on the
Sally.
mound tonight. 50 years I've been calling the Cardinals games. But, yeah, he's like 82 or something. So he's, I guess tonight, if they lose, is his last night.
Speaking of
doing games.
saving people from cars in flooded traffic, excuse my voice, did you see this video clip of the Marines
Yes.
saving a
Yes,
woman?
in full dress.
Incredible. I mean, it's pouring out in D.C.,
Yeah, their poor feet are all soaked.
and they're in their full parade dress,
Got out of the
white
bus.
pants, black coats, belts, medals, the whole schmear.
GW Parkway.
Yeah.
Right
And
in our neck of the woods.
they all march out of the van or out of the bus they were traveling in like it was no big deal. And they said, okay, here we go. Let's push you out. All right, come on over here.
We're Marines, ma'am. We got it.
We're Marines.
We're
We've
trained
got
to
it
kill.
handled.
Bless
Don't
those
worry.
guys.
Yeah. And it was like a foot and a half of water, something like that.
That's
So
all it takes.
I don't know if it was going to kill her, but she was certainly stuck, and it was probably getting worse.
Yeah. So anyway, Garrett
$24
Cole, who's being paid
$24 million.
$24 million.
whatever it is. Yes.
The big dollar show pony in his second season, not his first, but his second, because the pandemic, don't forget, did not come up clutch in the big moment they used him.
Did he need some spider tack last night? Where was everybody on the spin rates?
There's a story we haven't
Oh, yeah.
heard from in a
Went
long
away,
time.
didn't
What
it?
happened to that? Where
Was it like so many other things, like Y2K,
So
or Asian carp, or snakeheads?
yeah, snakeheads,
And
snakehead fish.
overhyped bunch of bullshit from the media.
or- right.
Spider tech. It's going to change the game as we know it.
Or was it? So I'll throw this out there, and this is a day that I wish we could get Galdi on the phone. Hello.
Oh.
I'm
Only
sleeping.
because,
Oh.
yeah, he's probably sleeping or he's definitely lifting. Our fantasy baseball, our modest fantasy baseball season just wrapped up, Zabe. And yes, we still do it. Solly beat me in the finals.
Congratulations.
Over the course of the year, I lost Shane Bieber, Trevor Bauer for other reasons. And by the way, he posted a video last night.
What other reasons?
Well, his other
you
reasons.
lost him for other reasons?
Yeah, he took himself out of
His
the game.
yeah,
sexual,
no, I know.
but
I know why.
Yeah, no. I was going to say Shane Bieber, Tyler Glasnow. As soon as the spin rate
Oh,
thing
yeah,
happened,
Glasnow was the guy who
and
blamed it.
New York, Mets.
Syndergaard?
No, come on, the other one, the great pitcher,
DeGrom.
Thank you,
Jacob DeGrom.
He had on and off health things. All of a sudden, these guys who were rock solid, insane strikeout pitchers,
Yeah.
they had injury situations. He's here.
Oh,
I thought,
Solly,
you got me.
He got you between rings.
Hello, Zabe.
We'll see if I've got first
no, he's
call
looking at
status.
end.
Yeah, he just.
And
Zabe.
hey,
There he
ladies
is.
and gentlemen, say hello to the great Albert I. Galdi. Say
What's
hello,
up?
boys.
Hello, Galds. Much love, brother.
It's Scott and Solly, Al. Hello.
All right. You have to tell me I'm being taped when you
Yes,
call me? Or
you're
how
on
does
the
this work?
air.
No, we'll do that after the interview when you say
Oh,
something
okay.
incredibly inflammatory.
Al Galdi of the Al Galdi podcast. Make sure to put it
Ding.
into your rotation of podcasts. Get it wherever podcasts are delivered. Galdi, so we're here taping, and Scott brought up a word I hadn't heard since May, spider tack. And I said, oh, there's a big story that went fucking nowhere. And Scott said, well, maybe it was a big deal, and maybe the new legislation worked. And he said, I quote, I wish we had Galdi here right now.
So,
I
yes,
said, well, let me fix
we could
that.
produce. So, Gald, you could fill in the blank. I pointed to DeGrom having on and off injury situation. I pointed to Glasnow being shelved, Bieber being shelved. As soon as this stuff went public, and then you had the Josh Donaldson and Garrett Cole blow up, and then it disappeared. But guys got hurt that normally wouldn't get hurt. And now we've come to the end of the season, and Garrett Cole, who makes $325 million, is out in the wild card round.
So what's your question?
Was there a there, Galdini?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of guys were using it, and one of the more telling things was that as the season went on, like post the crackdown, you saw a lot of guys get hit by pitches. So I think very much so pitchers used it to effectiveness. But I also think that there are batters who kind of wish that the pitcher still used it because some guys' control was adversely affected by the thing being cracked down. Like, what I think they need to do, they need to find some universally acceptable substance that can be used. This wink thing for years of, like, looking the other way on guys doing it wasn't the way to do it. But for sure, it helps certain guys. And, well, I don't know that Cole struggling is, like, proof of that because we've seen plenty of good pitchers struggle in postseason games over the last few years. There's no question people were using it a lot. Like, that's, I think, undeniable. And at least initially, I haven't seen the final data, but at least initially, offense spiked up when they cracked down. So I think there very much was something to it.
Okay. So there you go. I think, they could fix the ball. The Korean leagues use a ball that is synthetic covered, that's a consistent grip and tack.
Yeah.
And they don't need any junk to hold it.
Can't they just
that's
dip
the way to
dirt
do
on
it.
it? Pack dirt on it? What happened
That's what they do now.
Okay.
The problem is it's all different. It's a very labor-intensive hand process that's inconsistent. And it leads to cheating. Of course, I think a lot of guys moved on to Caterpillar glue, which is the next thing. It's not spider tack. It's even better.
Are they still checking
Caterpillar.
pitchers a couple times a game? We've seen pitchers disrobe and drop their pants. We haven't seen that in a few months either.
There have been
No, so what's interesting
glove
about
checks,
that,
though.
yeah, they check pitchers all the time. And the only guy who ever threw a fit over it, really, was Max Scherzer.
Mm-hmm.
And Max Scherzer on the first night, I mean, he threw a tantrum. And he did it, I think, strategically. Max is a big part of the Players Association, so he did it to put on a show. But if you remember that night, I remember this on Twitter, everyone bought into it. Every media member was like, oh, you see, this is a disaster. How is this ever going to last? The season is ruined.
Suckers.
And that ended up being like one of maybe like two incidents where a pitcher threw a fit. Everyone else was fine with it. Nobody else had a problem with it. It ended up being a big fat nothing in terms of these checks the rest of the
what
season.
if tonight he's full on with spider tack? They catch Scherzer on the mound. My God, I can't believe
Oh, my God, JR. He's cheating in the playoffs. This ain't right.
He's taped a file to his thigh. That'd be funny.
That would be funny. All right, Galdi. So what's shaking, brother? Anything?
Taylor Heineke shaking, man. We got to get to 3-2 Sunday against the Saints. We'll see what happens.
Oh, God.
Are you a Heineke? Are you a Heineke hive?
The Heineke Hive.
Yes,
Are you
he
part of the
is.
Heineke hive, big time?
I'm a big member of the Heineke Hive.
Kirk Jerk and a Heineke Hive.
He's grabbing that Heineke with both hands.
We got that, and when we have the DEA investigating the trainer, so that's good.
Yeah, you and Vermillion, huh? You worked on some substances together.
Skinless chicken
RV.
recipes, Galdi. That's what the DEA was looking for.
RVD.
My man RV, free RV. I'm starting that hashtag, free RV.
Are you going to buy some Heineke logoed gear?
Yeah, I can't get the beer though because Bud Light went with the sponsorship.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Taylor Heineke just announced he's got his own line of merchandise. So I'll get you one.
But
I
RG3 got killed for this, so let Taylor have his fun.
Oh, you going to put the two together? You're going to conflate
I'm
the two?
just leaving this here, and you can do
Bob
with
Heineke
it.
demanded his son doesn't run anymore. I couldn't believe it. He went into Rivera's office, said, "My kid, you're going to kill him out there, Coach." No,
Galdi, I have from the Breaking Tea Company the Legend of Taylor Heineke T-shirt, which is a good one. Now you've got a deep lineup of T-shirts. It's hard to crack your 53 T-shirt roster.
Golden
but the
boy.
Legend of Taylor Heineke from Breaking Tea is a really good T-shirt.
That is good, and that's going to look especially good like 10 years from now when all of this probably flames out. But, yeah.
If they had
He's been out of the league for 9 years, yeah.
If they had T-shirts back then, you'd have a T-shirt that said, "I'm on the Gus bus."
The Gus bus
for Gus Farrat.
Heisman for Theismann.
There it is, right there, boys. Look at that T-shirt.
The legend
it's
of
of him.
Heineke.
It's of him. Kissing the pylon the first time in the playoffs against Tampa. Did it again against the Giants. The guy loves pylons. That's all he does.
He's a good diver.
All right, very good. Galdi, we'll let you go with your day. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, there you go, everybody. Look at that. Live walk.
We got
at
cameos. This is great.
Amazing. Doc has a Heineke Time shirt. He had it this morning. It just said Heineke Time and Heineke on there. I was like, "Where'd you get that?" He's like, "Oh, somebody sent it to me." I'm like, "Oh,
Heineke time.
Heineke Time."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Bill Belichick is a liar.
Really?
A stone cold liar.
Oh,
Seth Wickersham,
Wickersham's a liar.
who's got a
that stupid book.
he's got a book out called "It's Better to Be Feared" inside the Patriots dynasty.
Seth Wickersham
said this about when Belichick claims to have never even spoken to him. He said, "That's an odd claim to make. I've sat and talked to him for 45 minutes on the record about this, another 30 minutes on the record
book or a long
on
time
tape."
ago.
Not for this book, but eventually I guess it showed itself in this
Maybe he
book,
didn't
right?
remember. I mean, he's probably talked to thousands of people.
Yeah, it could have been during a Super Bowl media week or
You
something
think
like that.
detail-oriented Bill Belichick, here it is right here, you think he would actually forget who Seth Wickersham is? Said Belichick, "I don't think I've ever talked to the guy," on Wickersham. Wickersham said, "I was asked about this in an interview. Curious thing for Belichick to say. We've spoken many times over the years, recorded and on record for stories both on Brady and himself. An hour on his coaching tree, 45 minutes on Ken Shipp and learning offense, 20 minutes on the draft process, etc."
Have you ever talked to Seth Wickersham?
Probably.
You have. We had him on before.
I look at you as the gatekeeper of
think I
all
may
guests and go,
have.
"Solly, we've had him, right?"
Yeah,
but
he's been
your memory probably not what Bill Belichick's is. You're right. He probably does remember everything. But I think he meant for this book, don't you think? I don't know if he.
I don't need to qualify.
I mean, I don't know what he's. I'm not going
Sorry to seal your act on this.
to call him a liar, but
exactly.
I don't think for this book he was cooperating. Him or his trusted aides.
Okay. Is it a good look for Belichick just to lie like that?
But again, is it a lie?
Okay, Costanza. Is it a lie?
Like Shanahan. I'm
If
going
you
to be
believe
honest with you, and I don't like to. I don't
Yeah,
like to,
right,
you know?
exactly.
Coaches always lie. He lies all the time. They're professional liars. Head coaches. I mean, that's what you do.
Why don't you just say, look, Seth only knows a tiny little bit out of context of what really went on. Nobody knows what goes on inside an organization unless you're inside it. And even those who are on the inside have differing opinions of what really happened.
Right, even they know. Because I heard Christian Fourier on a show yesterday who played for Belichick for years, the tight end, played with Brady. And he's like, and because they asked him about, Brady and Belichick talking after the game for 20 minutes, he's like, I don't know what their relationship is. They didn't show it at the facilities ever. They could be best buddies. They could, talk once every 10 years. I don't know.
Watch this. Zabe, have you ever met Fourier?
Met him or talked to him on the radio?
Both.
I think I've talked on the radio, never met him.
You've definitely talked to him on the radio.
Did I meet him at the Super Bowl, Radio
Yes.
Row?
And he let us try on his ring.
That's right. He was there on Radio
He
Row.
sat down with us in Phoenix, and he
right.
came over, and he couldn't have been. He wouldn't
If
leave.
someone wrote
He
a
was
book
great.
about Zabe, he'd certainly remember if he's ever talked to the guy.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, Fourier was super cool.
Kind of
actually.
sad. The memory's going quickly. 53.
When's the Zabe book? Their definitive Zabe book
That-
coming out?
it should
Would
be
you
out in
cooperate for a
volumes.
book about you?
The book, Sports Radio, the book.
The book.
That's the title. Sports Radio, the book. And then I can promote it, and every lackey-ass, no-talent sports radio host would have to introduce me as, and now, the guy who wrote the book
That's funny.
on Sports Radio, Steve Zabin.
That'd be good. There's
Very
not many.
clever.
I don't think
I
there are
don't
any
have the
books
time to
about-
write a book. What would the book? What
You don't
would
have time to read a book.
what would the point of the book be? I have stories.
I know that's. I mean, I don't like to read fiction because what do I care about some stupid story? I like to read real things and stuff about what actually happened. But there's no. I don't think there's a book about sports radio.
Did you get a
It's
copy of
too
the
new a
Wickersham
thing.
book and you give it to me?
I don't have one.
Oh, darn it.
if I were to write the book of sports radio, well, I mean, I think of the industry now.
It's still in its nascent period, right? It's only been around for 25 years.
No, I think sports radio is matured.
It's dead. It's dead.
Well, it's not dead. No, it's not dead.
No,
I mean,
it's
there's
definitely
tons
not
and
dead.
tons of stations. Lots of people employed. It's a very expensive format to run for stations because it requires warm bodies. Lots of them.
That's why they fire people all the time.
That's right.
They sell their stations.
Right. But I would say that it's matured to the point where if you're a young talent trying to forge your way and you want to become someone big.
I want to be Steve Zabin when I grow up.
Yes, exactly. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you separate yourself because the barriers to entry are lower with podcasts.
Right.
The availability of easy takes are all over the place from ESPN and everything else. And it's sort of just a genericized, is that even a word? It's been made generic and it's a commodity. Somebody gets on and they start slinging takes into the microphone. They may be right, they may be wrong, doesn't matter. River moves fast, games are played, somebody wins, somebody loses, guy gets fired, you bark into the mic and it moves on. Nobody pays for any price of being wrong. Being right is a sucker's bet anyway.
Sucker.
Be loud. Don't be right.
Well, all radio is shrunk from what it was years ago. I mean, how many music jocks?
Terrestrial
radio, right?
As an industry,
but
right.
the media and entertainment has expanded, obviously, with social media and YouTube and podcasts and all that crap. But I mean, it's funny because like we have several regular callers on with Russell and Medhurst, and they all have their own podcasts about the Redskins. It's pretty funny. Like,
oh, really?
3 of them have their own podcasts.
So the podcasts are calling.
I don't know if they make money, much like most podcasts, they don't make money. But, anyone can do it nowadays.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. The barrier to entry
right.
and the commoditization where it's just there's so many voices out there.
There's still so many. I think the amount of talent or the amount of people attempting to be talent is the same. They've just spilled.
No, it's more.
It's either the same or more. It has not, Solly said
more.
It shrunk, but I think it's spilled over into different outlets, and everybody else is now waiting to be discovered.
Well, it's because other things have gone away. Print.
Some high-priced talent has gone away.
Is gone in a lot of sense. I mean, people who did that for a living, sports writers, now are bloggers or
podcasters.
Podcasters,
right?
Yeah.
No, exactly.
I played this clip yesterday here on the podcast. I want to play it again. This is Mad Dog flexing on how he won't promote Tom Brady's weekly appearance with Jim Gray
during the
on
Westwood
Mad
game?
Dog Radio because basically he has not bent the knee to thank Doggy for the opportunity. You're sticking. You're like, you got to be kidding me, right?
Yes.
Wait.
You read my mind.
Wait until you hear this.
I made a decision. They've been begging me to promote it. I said, here's what I'll do. When Tom sends me a text saying, Chris, it's great to be on the channel, great to be part of it, as everybody else does, including McAfee. Everybody has done in the last 13 years. When Tom sends me one, and he can send it through Jim, so I don't have to know his number.
Jim Gray.
So it doesn't have to worry about me responding. When I get that, then I'll promote that show like you wouldn't believe.
Wow. So you have to thank someone
How
for
about them apples, huh?
promoting
That's ridiculous.
How about them apples? And this is the same guy who will uncork these, which make you go, what?
The Giants had a great win. They're down 21-10 in the fourth quarter in New Orleans. They had a big pass play to Shaquan Barkley. They got the Saints to punt. The Giants had a great win.
Shaquan Barkley.
Shaka Khan.
Saquon, right?
Yes, of course it's
Yeah.
Saquon.
This is a star player
Shaquan.
in his city
Yeah.
that is known to everybody. Sure, Saquon is an odd name or a
It's-
unique name.
Everyone
It's
knows
been
him.
around for a little while. We know it.
And I botch names as much as anybody, but when you say Shaquan, that should immediately say in your mind, no, that's not it. Because you never say Shaquan. You don't think, Scott, that he might be
Shaka Khan.
oblivious to who Saquon Barkley is?
I know he's not oblivious to who Saquon
How
Barkley
old is he? 60, 65? Is his mind maybe going? Not to assume that older people their minds are going, but they do. I mean, eventually, all of our minds go.
Sometimes
the
you
end,
get
the
into
end's
a
very
rut.
sudden.
61.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
old.
How does it go?
That's
Slowly
not
at first,
old.
and then real quick.
And then
Real
all at
quick.
once.
all of a sudden, 61 right there.
I mean, he's the king. He's invented this 30 years ago, so he'd tell you probably if you asked him. I don't mind Russo. His act is a little
I don't mind it either.
Odd
it's
for
just,
me.
I
have difficulty understanding him sometimes. I know.
I know why you do that, Sonny. Come on, the Yankees are standing. You guys got to run to the first base. Wait, you can't understand what I'm talking about here?
He deals in friendly overmodulation.
He does.
That's what he does.
Man, was that music loud during those bites there, too.
He turned it up, too, because he had to scream over it. It was amazing
I wanted it to be so loud they can't hear
Which came
me.
first, the music or my screaming?
Right. Speaking of bad predictions, I love Back After This because he digs into bad Colin Cowherd predictions. But sometimes the pundits have the worst takes in retrospect that do not hold up. Have you heard Joel Klatt talking about why he doesn't like Justin Herbert, the next rising star in the NFL landscape?
Nation for me. Listen, if I was making the decision, I wouldn't draft Herbert in the first round. Having said that, I absolutely think he will get drafted in the first round. Wow. I put him to the Dolphins at 18.
6'5", big arm, runs well, 4-point student. You got him. Where do you got him going to?
I have him
18.
going to Miami at 18, right? I mean, here's the thing with Herbert. I love everything that you said, but skill sets don't necessarily equate to success in the National Football League. The bottom line in this league is that you've got to throw the football on time and on target, and most of the time those are anticipatory throws. That's the biggest area of struggle he has. He is a blunt force instrument at quarterback. He is not surgical. He makes the wrong decisions quite often, but he gets away with it at the college level because he's got such a talented arm. I don't think he's going to be afforded that opportunity when he gets to the NFL. I think he reminds me of Allen in Buffalo. If you like Allen in Buffalo, which I'm a bit skeptical of, then I think that you're going to love Herbert. But for me, I want guys that make much better decisions and pass the football rather than throw the football.
What in the living fuck does that mean?
You see, here's the difference, Colin. There's guys out there that are such talented throwers of the football, and that's all well and good. And you know what they do? They hypnotize people like you. But I want people that pass the football. Okay? I want people that know how to attack the defense, anticipate throws, and pass the football with a great amount of efficiency.
I mean, I think the bottom line is nobody knows, and nobody can fully gauge who's going to be any good because the Chargers swooped in at 7 and grabbed the best guy of the class.
He's been marvelous.
If Tua was there, they would have taken him, right? Instead of Herbert.
Arguably so.
I would assume.
And here was Francesa talking about Herbert, quote, not even being the same league as Tua. Okay.
There's a next 2 years. There's a number one quarterback at the top of the draft.
No, there's 3 quarterbacks next year. You got Fromm from Georgia. You got Tagovailoa from Alabama.
Fromm, where's that asshole these days? And by asshole, I mean nice kid.
He's Buffalo's.
Wasn't he backing up in Buffalo?
Is he hanging on
down behind
to
Trubisky,
a roster
right?
spot?
Isn't that where he was?
Yeah, he's behind Trubisky. He was the backup. Just the second
was the
guy
2.
to Allen last
Okay,
year.
hold on though.
Bama, and you got Herbert in Oregon, who could.
Yeah, but you see, I don't put the other 2 guys even in the same breath as Tua. Not even in the same league as Tua.
Tua.
She's a Tua.
She's a
The
Tua.
other 2 guys even in the same breath as Tua. Not even in the same league as Tua.
The great mystery of the NFL is nobody knows who's going to be any good.
Otherwise, they'd get it right more. The experts. But
that's why we like these redraft articles when they come out. We like to say,
I'm sure a lot of people felt like Joel Klatt that Herbert wouldn't be this good, this quick, and perhaps going to be one of the greats of all time because he's doing nothing wrong. And even this year, he's better than he was last year. They're some stupid penalties away from being 4-0.
Yeah, Jake Fromm is on the Bills. Old number 4. Handsome fella.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
Probably can't play on Sundays.
Fine Georgia quarterback.
He doesn't have to. He's got Josh Allen, who never gets hurt, and Mitch Trubisky in front of him. It's a good deal. I'd love to be a third-string quarterback.
All right, last one before we're done here. Speaking of people being wrong about things.
Uh-oh. Is this me? Is this my turn?
No.
All right, good.
No, we're all wrong about shit all the time.
Good, and we admit it.
But Instagram, pretty big platform, right?
Yes.
Worth a lot of money. Sells ads. Influencers can make a ton of money on Instagram. Yada, yada.
on Instagram.
Yes, on Instagram.
Yes,
I am there.
One of my favorite follows.
Okay, so this was in 2012. when Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion. Here's what the pundits were laughing
That's not the only important new technology news.
Jon Stewart.
2 hours ago, Facebook announced it is buying, this is unbelievable, the photo sharing company Instagram.
Oh my God, that is unbelievable. What is Instagram?
He came up with a free app that allows you to take any picture and make it a memory. So it looks like an old black and white or even a Polaroid. You can also take a new picture, change it up, and then easily share it with friends.
Wow! That's really lame. Why is this news?
Facebook buying the free smartphone mobile sharing app for $1 billion.
$1 billion of money?
That's a funny line.
For a thing that kind of ruins your pictures? The only Instagram worth $1 billion would be an app that instantly gets you a gram.
Oh, zing.
Well, I mean, I didn't know it was going to be this big. I mean, when Yahoo bought Tumblr for $1 billion,
that was a bad investment.
That was very bad because now it's completely gone. And that was.
It's not gone. It's there.
Tumblr? It's worth nothing, right? I don't know anyone.
Well, you say it's gone. I'm saying it exists.
I guess it exists, but
I didn't mind Tumblr as a platform.
But Instagram obviously is.
I never tumbled.
A bargain at $1 billion.
You never tumbled. Okay.
I never tumbled.
Yeah, their tagline is make stuff, look at stuff, talk about stuff, find your people.
Yeah, who knows which one was going to succeed or not?
Does that sound like there's not a million other options to make stuff, look at stuff, talk about stuff, and find your people? Basically.
Yes.
So obviously, Facebook saw something in Instagram.
Sure.
They're like, ooh.
Zuckerberg's smart. He knows what he's doing.
He's smart. He's also evil, but he's smart evil.
I mean, the stuff yesterday with the people upset about the whistleblower.
That whistleblower is as fake as a fucking $3 bill, that woman.
Blaming a company for what other people do. I mean, that's like me, blaming
video games for violence.
Nike when I slip, I mean, it's
or the recording industry, right, Tipper Gore?
Yes.
You're old enough to remember those
that's right.
hearings on Capitol
The
Hill.
warnings on the labels.
Yeah, well,
this record labels.
This so-called whistleblower, she's been given the red carpet tour. She's going to go testify in Europe as well. Most whistleblowers face harassment, lawsuits. They lose their jobs.
Well, they get killed in other countries.
Yeah, they get killed in other countries.
You treat them like a hero.
Right. She's got like her own PR staff, and her solution is to let the government set up a data protection agency that will then have a say in what's true or not on the fucking internet. It's basically the government, the party in power wants to take the monopoly of the tech companies and say, we're going to help you decide what's true and what's not true. It's like the Ministry of Truth in fucking 1984.
Is that a good idea?
That's what.
No, it's a terrible idea.
Look at YouTube. They've had to bow down to them. And
they've chosen to start limiting videos that dare go against the vaccine or
anything
COVID
else
narrative.
They deem to be misinformation. Yeah. And
anyway, it's funny that, I know. It's funny, though, that obviously Facebook said, this Instagram product could be good because we know that our users of Facebook are older and lame in the eyes of young people. Young people want their own place to share stuff and do stuff, and they don't want to read. So how about just a picture or a video? And it was brilliant, and it's worked out great for them. Meanwhile, Marissa Mayer, that dipwad who bought Tumblr for a bunch of money, she's long out with her golden parachute.
Should have put more money into the Yahoo Sports Radio.
Right.
That's what she should have done. Could still be alive, and we could always still be working there. But
what do you think Marissa Mayer is doing right now?
Counting her money.
She's worth a podcast.
She's worth $50 million. What does she care?
Marissa Ann Mayer, a mere 46 years old.
That's it? Jeez.
She's on a bunch of boards.
Of course.
And I don't know if she's currently working.
What is Sunshine, 2018 to present? What is Sunshine?
Sure
is that the Trevor Lawrence Foundation?
Sure, it's some startup company that is...
Google, Yahoo, tech darling, started Sunshine with former colleague Enrique Munoz Torres, based in Palo Alto, focused on artificial intelligence.
There you go.
And consumer media.
God bless.
God bless indeed. All right, boys. Thanks for your time as always.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Lynn Murray Solly Podcast. Get it. Subscribe on Patreon. Yada, yada, yada. And we will talk to everyone next week. Thanks. See you, boys.